Hey, normally I'd be doing another episode of Shudder Saturday, but today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Today I'm going to be talking about something that's on Netflix right now and it just premiered and it looks like it's a 3-part series. I'm going to be talking about Fear Street 1994. There's been a lot of buzz about this, so I was like, I might as well take the opportunity and watch it and talk about it. This horror trilogy is going to be based upon novels written by R.L. Stine. I'll have to take their word for it because in 1994 I was not reading those. The film focuses on a group of high school teens that live in a small town, and unfortunately the small town has been plagued by a string of slasher murders over the past decades. And while most of the town folk think these string of murders are just something that's coincidental and it's something unfortunate and that's taking place in this town, however, these young group of teens discover that there's more to it, that there's actually something supernatural involved. The movie starts off by throwing some 90s nostalgia right at your face. We got a great soundtrack. We got some great neon effects because, in the 90s, neon lights in your room was a big thing. And the movie even opens up with the Scream type of opening. So it's very Scream in the very first opening of the movie. So it plays a big tribute to Scream. Fear Street 1994 I thought was very entertaining overall. The runtime was fine. I enjoyed the 90s soundtrack. However, it managed to play some 90s music that I hated back then. Other than that, I found it very enjoyable and it was very entertained. However, this movie is far from perfect. And when I mean far from perfect, I mean the script has plenty of holes as far as the lore of what's going on in this town. However, I'm expecting those holes to be filled in by the next 2 movies that come out in the next couple of weeks. So hopefully that will be settled there. However, there's still other holes other than that. Something that's been trending in the last decade in horror movies is actually taking place in this movie as well, even though it's supposed to be 1994. I felt that the main character of Dina was not likable. She was actually rather annoying at times, and her character came off as very selfish. The main character of Dina just brought way too much melodrama into the story. I almost felt like it was almost unnecessary at some point. I did not find her character enjoyable at all. I was not rooting for her character 1 minute in this movie. The one and only character that I found relatable and I felt that was actually grounded in some reality was the one character that was technically not supposed to be grounded in reality, and that was her brother Josh. I felt that his character was the one that was making logical choices and was not bringing anything melodramatic into the movie. Like I said, this movie is not perfect at all. I'm just kind of nitpicking at it, but there was these little things that were kind of avoidable, so I will say if you notice these things, try to turn your brain off because if you do notice them, it might ruin the experience for you. I would say the movie's taking place within 24 hours. However, when someone dies in this movie, no one seems to notice after 2 minutes. Someone just dies and they're like, oh, you're dead. And then they'll be doo-doo-doo. Which brings me back to the main character, Dina. She just went through this traumatizing experience within the last 24 hours and plenty of people around her died. I love you. Why don't you love me? I'm drinking so much beer because of you. I'm being drama. I love you. Everyone's dead. Let's go back to my house and make out, all right? Because I love you. That was her character through the entire movie. Another thing that I noticed in this movie, there was really no adults in this movie. I was almost like, is this Children of the Corn or what's going on? There's no adults present. So yes, this movie has plenty of holes. It uses movie logic way too much. There are moments where someone's driving a bus and the emergency hatch opens up and you would think the bus driver would be like, oh, I can hear the emergency thing going off. Oh, the lights are flashing in the front. I should stop the bus. No. A cop's gun goes missing, yet there's gunfire right in front of the police station, yet no one hears anything. There's little holes like that. Like I said earlier, Josh is the only character that's kind of grounded in reality in this movie, except for the one parent that shows up at the end of the movie. I would hate to say this, but I was kind of on her side at the end of the movie because everything just happened in 24 hours, and of course Dina's just thinking with her little head, and she's like, hey, you want to come back to my house later? And the mom's like, no. And I was like, yeah, people just died. Friends just died. And you're already thinking with your little head, Dina. Overall, this movie is very entertaining. The runtime is very quick. It throws a lot of 90s nostalgia at you between the music and little trinkets here and there. So hopefully the next one, which looks like to be a slasher-oriented kind of movie, I'm really looking forward to that one because I think there will be less Dina in that one. So I'm really looking forward to the next one. Hopefully you like what you saw here. I'm Mike the Movie Misfit, and I'll see you at the movies.
Get more out of life. Go out to a movie.